Alj, you recently announced that you're going up to featherweight, and this is a grappling match at a higher weight. How do you think that will play out when it comes to the different sizes?
I think it's going to be a little different. I mean, I think if the longer someone who's bigger could lean on you and put their weight on you, I think it makes you a little bit more tired because there's more weight for you to carry. But I think my speed is going to be a big advantage coming into this, and I think just my IQ overall, knowing how to use the cage to my advantage, certain takedowns, defenses, and things like that, I think is going to benefit me. And even though I'm going to be the smaller guy, I think I'm going to be probably the stronger guy.
And you recently announced you're going up a weight. You're a former champion going to another division. Who are some high-profile matches which you think you want to start your divisional debut with?
Well, my debut that I would have liked to have had would have been Max Holloway, but he's fighting Justin Gaethje, and I'm going to be fighting Calvin Kattar in April 13th at UFC 300.
And other than that, who would be like a match that you always wanted to have, and now that you shifted divisions, you want that fight?
Oh, Alexander Volkanovski would be a great one, especially if he wins against Topuria. But we'll see. At the end of the day, he's one of the greats. I just want to make sure my resume, when my career is all said and done, is I fought some of the best guys in the world and competed against the best guys in the world. And I think that's what it's all about. That's how you build your name. That's how you build a legacy. If you could take out those tough guys and take out those guys on really crazy long winning streaks, I think it puts you in that conversation, and the history books are going to speak for itself.
How do you think that fight will play out?
Which one? With Calvin Kattar?
Volk.
With Volk? I think Volk is very tough. He's got a great IQ. I think he's one of the best. I just don't think he's been able to fight someone with the wrestling pedigree. Yeah, he fought Brian Ortega, almost got submitted twice. But imagine if someone could take him down multiple times with that threat of the takedown and with the threat of BJJ to submit him in the fights as well. Kind of like Islam, but Islam was the bigger guy in that fight, you know. So I do, and it was a very close fight, the very first one. So I think that opens up some opportunities for a guy like myself with the speed, the wrestling background, and the tenacity to constantly keep pushing for those takedowns. And then, of course, the transitions to the back. I think if I get him there and I put a body triangle on him, I don't think he's going anywhere, and I think I can get the finish.
Going back to bantamweight, you reigned at this weight, and now there's a title fight coming up, a rematch actually between Chito and Sean O'Malley.
It's the wrong rematch, and it's the wrong title fight, in my opinion. But respectfully, it's still a good fight, and I'm excited to see who comes out the winner of that. I think people are counting Chito out. I think Chito has a lot of good intangibles that people aren't looking at. He might not be the most technical, but I think his cardio is a weapon, and I think he does a great job of utilizing that, which keeps him in the fight long enough to come back and get those comeback from behind victories. So we'll see how this one goes. I think if O'Malley can keep the pace for 5 rounds, I think O'Malley wins. But if he slows down, I think Chito starts to get stronger, and that's where it's going to be trouble for a guy like O'Malley. So I think O'Malley needs to get the fight over with a little bit sooner, because I think he's shown a little bit of fatigue in the past, and I think that could be something that Chito might be looking to play up in that fight.
I'm jumping around a lot with the questions, but it's not always that you get the chance to speak to someone like the Funk Master himself. Conor McGregor, featherweight legend, now competing at middleweight. Your thoughts on that, and will you be competing at middleweight at one day?
No, absolutely not. I will be staying at featherweight, at most 155, but I don't even think I could do that. Some of those guys are just way too big, way too strong. Islam is huge, Khabib is huge. Those are big guys, and they're tall.
And they're not even middleweight.
And they're not even middleweight, you know. I don't know what Conor is doing. I hope to see him come back, though. I think he will be back at 55. I think the welterweight and the 85-pound thing is kind of like, I don't say a gimmick, but just more talking points for people. But I think realistically, he'll come back to the lightweight division, get his feet wet again, and if he can get the job done, I think Dana will be very, very happy to throw him into a title shot.
Jumping to ADXC, you told me that you have a strategy in case Chase decided to sit down. He doesn't seem like the guy who's going to just sit down and scoot, but run me through your thoughts if this happens.
If he does that, I'm going to just have to drag him by his ankles, just like my last opponent, you know? I don't think you can win a match by being on your back the whole time, and I don't think you can win a match by being dragged around the mat, and I don't think you can win a match by being swung around the air like you're at a carnival, you know? So it'll be an interesting match to see if he does that, but I don't think Chase is going to be that guy, so I'm just going to say I just hope he doesn't do that. That just would just... If he does that, maybe I'll go into his guard, pick him up, put him against the cage, and cheese grate at his head. and make him fight. Make him get angry so that he wants to do something, you know?
Awesome. Thank you for your time.
Thank you.
Appreciate it. Good luck.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Aljamain, my bad.